Hello, welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I am Sam, Spurs for Life, and this is your PAXTON Road TV preview show for the game coming up at the weekend, Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton and Hove Albion. And in the house, joining us, we have fellow Paxtonites, Mike Hotspur Hustler, who's now begins with a P. We have Darius 3K, and we have joining us in the house, Sean from Spurs Talk Show. Good evening, gentlemen. How are things doing? How are we?
Good.
Yeah, mate,
I'm actually again looking forward to Saturday, which is something I'd never thought I'd say. So I'm only hoping to keep this feeling. To be honest, I'm very excited for this game.
Yep, I too. I'm looking forward to all the games post Burnley. Post the mini meltdown from Conte. I am now happily looking forward to all the games. So before we start the show, make sure you guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Subscribe, and also put your comments in the comment section below. Share this around as well, and we will try our best to get all your comments on screen and also try and answer a few of them as well. But we are doing this preview show, so let's get into this without further ado. Start with our brand new guest, first time on the show, Sean Spurs Talk Show. Welcome, and let's get into it. How are you feeling about Saturday?
First of all, Sam, thanks for having me on, mate. I'm really pleased you're making the debut, buddy. It's always a privilege to join such an awesome channel and great panel. Thanks for having me. Yeah, Saturday, mate. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, you know, it was after the back of two sensational weekends of football where you couldn't have asked for more things to go Tottenham's way.
Yeah.
You know, all good things come to an end a little bit, and I'm concerned a little bit about the news about Matt Doherty. You know. I guess we're going to talk about that, but how we overcome, and what a weird scenario to be in, right? Where you're saying oh my god, I used to wince when he was on the team sheet. Now I'm wincing that he's not on it. But
it's the
apart from
weirdest sensation in the world at the moment. Actually thinking Matt Doherty is a miss for us, and he is going to be a miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from that, though, I don't see us having too many issues. You know, we've already beaten them twice this season, and I don't think that Brighton have got any answer to Conte's tactics. I think most of the styles have now been tried to how teams can come up and set up against Tottenham, and we seem to have found a way to overcome most of them now. So I'm not too bothered as long as Emerson doesn't have any howlers, then I think we'll be fine on the day and probably go and win 4-1.
Yeah, we've been doing some right old school predictions, and Mike did 2-0 the last one. I think 3-1. I think Sean did 4-1 and Kuva did 5-1. We all went for the Spurs win and we got it, but we're high scoring at the moment. That's the good thing. 4 wins in the last 5, Darius. Has this shown you that these guys are, because I'm going back a few months, this team and the same players are there, the majority of them, we've got a couple of additions we know, didn't seem to have as much of a fighting spirit. Do you now see that fighting spirit, and will that, because Conte talked about it quite a lot, has talked about it quite a lot in press conferences, we're going to fight for every game. Do you expect that to continue into the game on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, I think Sean touched on it. It seems like we have a plan for every team, or it doesn't seem like we have a plan for every team because it doesn't seem like we change a lot. But it seems like teams can't really seem to break us down and sort of deal with our real threatening talent. So it's very satisfying to sort of see things almost sort of inevitably come off in our squad. And if, again, like you said, if the players keep their form and sort of go down the trajectory that they are going down in terms of their form, then I mean, the front three should really do all the work for us and not have to really worry about anything else. I think Brighton do play a good style of football. I think it won't be a challenge for us necessarily. I think they're actually probably playing to our favour with the sort of higher line, but they do have individuals which I am sort of afraid of. I think the fullbacks, like you've mentioned with Emerson, I think Kukurea on that left wing is going to be a bit of a problem for Emerson, because I think he's a pretty solid to decent, very good fullback. So I mean, he plays that left wing back role very well, similar to how we'd want our left wing backs to play it. So I mean, it's the individual battles that I'm going to look for. Midfield is going to be tough with Basuma and Trossard as well, but again, the way our midfield are playing and the way our forwards are playing, we should again outscore this Brighton team, and that's why I think that this win will be quite sort of a comfortable one, because even if they do score 2, which they probably can, and even though it's been tough for them to even score 1 at times, they've scored 2 against Arsenal. They can score 2, but I think that we can score 4 past them quite easily. I think we can score 3 past a lot of teams in this league. And I mean, 3 months ago, we weren't saying this. So trajectory is to go and carry on the way we were against Aston Villa and score a lot of goals and keep that goal difference going up and up and up.
Definitely. I'm not that bothered about Brighton, if I'm honest with you. At this stage of the season, and I'm going to give my reasons why. At this stage of the season, Brighton, they're not the same team as they were at the beginning of the season. They don't score many goals. They scored 2 goals against Arsenal. I don't know how. They haven't scored that many. We'll get into some of the stats a little bit. The way that we play against them, if they're going to match us up with 3 at the back, I think any team that tries to match us up, apart from probably Chelsea, I would say we're going to take them anyway. If they try and change their system, I think we've seen enough ways that we can play. My only concern is about that right back in terms of the attacking threat. But if I think about it, he hasn't started on that right-hand side the last game anyway. He started on the left, and that was Emerson. So if I look at it in the cold light of day, provided we don't do anything stupid, and what I mean by that is just mistakes like, what we've done in the past. As long as they keep their heads, the crowd will be behind us. The players will be up for it because they have to be up for it. 12:30 kickoff. Pressure's on us to win the game, which will then put the pressure on them. And it's a home game. So all those things combined together, like I said, I can't see much more than a Spurs victory. Mike, as I said, I've mentioned about the right wing back position. Your favourite player, Matt Doherty, is out for the season.
You know what's so funny? Sorry to interrupt you, Sam, but the last time I was on this stream, Mike wasn't even giving Matt Doherty credit for his 2 assist game. He wouldn't even give him credit. And now look where we are, man. Look where we are.
The only thing I'm giving Doherty is that he's been in good form. The form's temporary.
We've made progress.
It's permanent, isn't it? So
We've made progress.
That's
progress. I'm happy with it. That's progress.
He's not bending. He's not wavering. So fair dues to you, sir.
He's been in good form, and that's as far as I'm going with that player. And I am, in all honesty, it's a shame that he is injured because even though he's been playing on the left-hand side, which I don't think he gives us much on the left, he has been in decent form. So I'll give him that's as far as I'm going with the player. He's been in good form.
Emerson, do you? On the right.
What's a good?
Do you know what?
Sean.
Careful what you say now.
Let me listen to this one now. Go on, then, Mike.
With Emerson on the right, I want to see. He needs a season in the league. He's come from a different. He's come from a different league, different style of football. He's come to a league where it's like most players would probably need the best part of a season just to to get adjusted to the league.
True.
Pace, the power, the physicality of the Premier League. It takes, for me, in my personal opinion, it takes some getting used to. And I do think Emerson just needs. I'd like to give him the time, give him a full season.
He was signed as a right back as well,
season.
wasn't he?
And that's the other thing as well. Like he was signed predominantly as a right back, but he's having to play right wing back, which
is fair. It's a fair like.
I think
not easy to adapt.
You make a good point, Mike, about
the language either. So
because even for Brazil, he's playing right back. He's not playing right wing back for Brazil, so it's a bit like I'm cutting him some slack at the moment.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm cutting him some slack, but
time's up for me. Sorry.
He hasn't answered the question though. He's not answered it.
What was the question?
He's not answered it. That's what I mean.
You prefer Emerson to start a right wing back than
Emerson or Doherty. Who you keep?
Emerson or Doherty, Mike. Come on.
Straight in.
Are we going based on form?
We're going Emerson or Doherty.
He's not having it. He's caught. He's done.
I tell you what. I'm going to put it down now. I think Emerson will have a good game on Saturday.
Good on you. I like I said, me and you both. I know I gave that guy pelters. I gave him. I don't want to ever see him. I called him by his number. Never called him by I called him Dorothy. That was Christina, by the way.
Timberlake became one.
Justin Timberlake because his haircut's so sharp. All the rest of the names we've given him. However, he's been our best wing back this season, in my opinion, even over the short period of time that he's been good, because I don't think we've had enough. Particularly, I'm going by the Conte reign, obviously. Reguilón's been injured. Sessegnon's been injured. Reguilón's been in and out. I'm not quite sure about him defensively. Attacking wise, I still think he has a lot more to do. Reguilón, in my opinion, he's got that hustle and bustle. He's got that, and I saw that. Has anybody else seen that clip that gone a little bit viral, where he's almost copying everybody's celebrations. That's the sort of player he is. He's like, oh shit, I'll copy you. Or, you know what I mean? He's not got in my opinion, he's not established enough yet to take on that role for Spurs, in my opinion. And I think long term, Ryan Sessegnon is probably going to be the long term. He's getting a bit more character.
Never seen a guy so young with so much time on his side, but yet so much time already stolen by.
It's so worrying, isn't it? It's so.
And it's
worrying.
Your hamstring, man. Once your hamstring goes, it's never the same. It's never the same. It always reoccurs. You show me a player that had a hamstring injury in the early part of his career, and then it disappear and not become a problem. And I'll be very surprised. Everyone who ever gets a hammy injury at the start of their career, it's an ever-present problem for them. You know.
Very true. Very, very true. Right, let's get into this. I can't see how long the stream's gone. My thing that usually tells me how long the time.
We've got 11 on the clock right now.
Where's that gone to? I'm gonna have to sort that out later on down the line. But anyway, 11 minutes gone. Let's now get into some of our normal stuff. Let me share screen, live TV. I love it. It's great. This is. Okay, so sharing like that. Right, here we go. Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton preview. League table and form. So yes, highlighted there in blue. Tottenham 31 games played, 18 victories, 3 drawn, lost 10, 4 in terms of scored goals, 56, and against 37. Goal difference of 19, 57 points on the clock. 4 wins on the bounce with 1 loss. Arsenal 30 games played on 54 points. I'll ask the question. Do you? Oh no. I'm not going to. No, I'm going to slightly change it. Darius, how many more points do you think is going to be required? Or should I say, what do you think the points total might need to be for us to secure this? I'm not talking about the mathematical total. I'm talking about how you feel about how the rest of their games are. You know how we're playing, all the rest of it. How many points do you think we might need in the next 7
So
games?
what are we on? 30 played Tottenham or 31?
We've played 31. We've got 7 games.
So we have 21 points we can get max. In my opinion, and this is not based on us, but this is more based on Arsenal and their fixtures. And just because Man U are they basically said, yeah, Ten Hag, we need you. We don't care about this season. They've given up Man United. So I think it's a sort of a one-to-one head race against Arsenal. I think 9 points will do it. And I only say that because
that's quite low.
9 to 12 points. And I only say that because they have to play and face 4 or 5 of the top teams above them. And if they win, let's say they win 9 or 12 of those points, then it's good. For me, it's over anyway. If they win 3 of those games, I think they'll get the confidence to go on a run and sort of know that they can do it. However, if they lose 3 of those games, 4 of those games straight away, and they've got 8 games left, then they're going to have to get 12 points from those games that they've not even sort of confirmed yet. So they've lost the big games that they've got, and then they've still got to play the likes of Newcastle away, which is a big game. I think they also have to play Leeds away, which is going to be a tough game.
I think they've got to play Leeds at home.
Leeds at home, sorry, which is still going to be a tough game. These little games is Southampton away,
Chelsea away.
These games, exactly, regardless of the Chelseas and the Man U's and us and West Ham, regardless of those games, which I think they'll lose most of them, to still go out and beat the Southamptons, the Newcastles, the Leeds, I think is going to be difficult. So I think if we can get 9 to 12 points, genuinely, I'm genuinely being serious. It may sound low, but I think 12 points will do it very much so. And that puts us on, I can't really see the points, how many points we're on. So how much is 12 points? 12
points would be 69.
I think 70 points does it. So yeah, I'm going to say 12 to, I think 70 points does it. So I'll say 13. I think 12, 9 to 12 will do it. If I think 70 is the benchmark, that's what I set. So yeah, I'm going to stick with what I said. I really do think that Arsenal's games are that difficult, even the ones that they maybe are expected to win. I still think a difficult game. So I'm going to say 12 points.
Sean, it's a straight shoot between Spurs and Arsenal for this 4th place? I look at West Ham, obviously what they're doing. They're doing bits in that Europa League. They're probably going to have a full focus on that now if they're through to the semi-final. Arsenal, well, we all know what Arsenal are going through in terms of their injuries to their key players. Tierney, Partey out. No faith in their left back or left wing back, whatever you want to call it. And Man and Man United are Man United. So it's been a very long time since I've been able to do that. Well, probably a few weeks ago. But Sean, what do you think? Is it a case of a straight shootout between Spurs and Arsenal now for this 4th place?
Yeah,
and in terms of the points,
yeah.
do you see it as being what? How many wins do you think we're away from it?
Yeah, I like where Darius's mindset's going. I think historically, 4th spot has always been around 70 points. I think 72 is the highest it's ever required in the last 15 years. And I think 64, 65 is the lowest. I think if we can hit 70, I think we're absolutely golden, especially because we got the goal difference. Even if that's worth an extra point anyway.
That turned around so quickly as well.
Turned around so quickly. But I also think that it might be even less than that. Like if we go on and beat Brighton tomorrow, and if Arsenal drop points against Southampton, they could just go on an implosion, and we can get this done before the North London derby. We could be 9 points ahead of them before the North London derby, and it'll be
that's the dream.
I mean, it'd be so good because my ticket for that game is literally right next to the Arsenal away end, so I won't even be watching the game. I'll just be calling them out the whole time.
Before the game's even started.
That would be fun.
I think 69 points, 70 points to be sure if we get 70 points, but I think 12 points will be enough to do it. I'm pretty confident.
Look at that. Mike, go on then. Just add on to that bit then. As I said, I've discounted. I am going to discount. No, I'm going to stick to it. I've discounted Man United. I just cannot see. And I was saying this to Darius. Any team now that is above us in this title race, in this 4th place race, deserves it. Because the way we're playing, we'd have to implode. As Sean was saying, it has to be an implosion. I think we've got over that. Conte's got enough about him to be able to. We've been able to, play Doherty at left back and still get a tune out of him. He's got Emerson at least performing somewhere close to a right wing back, although there's a lot of work to do. Our midfielders we've seen, Højbjerg is getting more praise from Conte. I think that's gone under the radar a little bit. Midfield wise, I think we're solid. Defense is the key for me. With Romero in there, with Dyer in there, obviously with Ben Davies as well. That back three is very, very secure. And even if teams get a goal against us, we've got the firepower at the other end. So for me, I think it's a case of just making sure that we stick to what we're doing, win all our home games, definitely, and it's a wrap. We've got 4 home games left, 3 away. Mike, point-wise, how much are you saying?
I think 71 or 72.
Wow. So it's that 13, 14?
Yeah, about 13.
15 points to get to 72. That's 5 wins.
5 wins.
I think we need to.
15,
I don't think.
Okay.
15. Yeah, sorry, 15. I just feel. I think the pressure's on. Obviously, the pressure is on Arsenal, Man United, obviously, to try and catch up with us and hope that we drop points. But I don't want Tottenham thinking it's done and dusted. I'm sure that won't be the mindset of the players, and I'm sure that won't be the mindset that Conte has. I'm sure they'll be going one game at a time. Like I've said on previous streams, just take it one game at a time and just beat what's in front of you. And that's all I want Spurs to do. Whether that means Tottenham have to get maximum points, I honestly don't care. I just want.
We don't need maximum points. We don't need maximum points. I'm talking in terms of 21 points. We don't need 21 points.
We can't. The thing is,
be great to get, though, wouldn't it?
We've seen
lovely.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Imagine that going on a 12-game winning streak all the way to the end of the season. Just be so blind.
With some of those teams, though, apart from Liverpool, you take out Liverpool, it's not.
I know. I don't even take out Liverpool.
No,
I think we can beat Liverpool.
Yeah,
I actually think we're gonna. I think we're gonna do over Liverpool. That's my big one. I think we'll beat them 3-1. We'll properly do over Liverpool and ruin their title. I'm praying.
I hope that is the case. I hope that's the case. But our record at Anfield isn't the greatest, is it? So,
no, it's not.
Our record at Anfield is atrocious.
But there's something about
team,
Liverpool. Yeah, there's
this
something
Tottenham
about
team
the
with this manager hasn't lost at Anfield yet, so it's a whole new record.
I hope this is the case.
We're gonna do over Liverpool, man.
I hope that is the case.
Undefeated at Anfield.
Undefeated at Anfield is Conte, and long may it continue. Sorry, Mike, that we're losing.
But if you take out the Anfield, leave the Anfield game out, the rest of the games are very winnable, and there is no reason why we couldn't win all those games. I know it's a big ask because some of those games that we've got, they're not exactly straightforward. I know we still got, what is it, a couple of teams left in the bottom. Is it Burnley we still got?
Norwich.
Well,
Norwich
this is
and
the thing.
Burnley
Are they our last two
Norwich.
games? Are they our last two games? Yeah.
Burnley at home, Norwich away.
They could be relegated by them.
They could be, but they might still be fighting for their life. And if they are,
and that's what I want them to be.
Definitely not Norwich.
I want them to be fighting for our. I've seen us go to Newcastle when we thought Newcastle are dead, buried, whatever, and they turned up. I want Burnley to be in a proper. If we don't win, we're gonna die at our place. They attack us. They're done. They're done. Any team that are done.
How many times have we seen this on the last day of the season?
It's different now. It's different. I feel different. I've got that Conte vibe.
When they're fighting for their lives, mate, it's a different.
Yeah, but Burnley. I don't mind if Norwich are still involved in it, but like if Burnley, I don't know, Burnley under Dyche, he's a. I don't know.
Oh, come on now, put your chest up, man. Sure, what's wrong with you?
All right, yeah, fuck it.
You know what? You know what it is. I kind of agree with Sam, and I think the big turning point game for me was the Villa game, because that's the game that we typically would go and lose and really mess up. Because on that weekend, sort of the results could not have gone any better for us. I think, what was it? Arsenal, United and West Ham all lost that weekend.
And Wolves. And
it was just, for me, that was the game where I was thinking, you know what? We play on Sunday. Was it the Sunday that we played against Villa? Or 5:30 on Saturday. 5:30 Saturday. I was like, we've seen results happen in 3 o'clock. This is the game where we ain't gonna take advantage of it. And it was the adversity of the first half to then continue to keep a clean sheet and then go and batter them 4-0. That made me think, okay, there's something different about this team now. Because normally we would be conceding 2 goals. After we scored that first goal, we conceded 2 goals in that onslaught of attack. And we didn't. We actually kept a clean sheet and then we went on to batter the team. So for me, I think there is something different. I really, really do. I would actually be on the same wavelength as you, Mike, but something about this team that I think, with the confidence that they've got, I think they can go and beat most teams that are going to throw everything at us, which is why I think Liverpool, Burnley, if they're going to throw everything at us, we're gonna take you out like a sniper. Kane's going to get you. He's going to get you.
I don't want to say, you have all still got this little bit of a Spursy jinx. Not me.
It's not that for me. It's how fragile. We are one injury away.
We are.
One injury away. A lot of people say that Tottenham are like Harry Kane FC. We're so dependent on one man or 2 men with Sonny. I would actually make the controversial argument that we could probably afford an injury to our offensive line more than we could any other place on the pitch.
100,000%.
Mike was just going to quote. We can't afford an injury, in my opinion, to Romero or Dyer. Those 2 players, for me, are absolute key. Because if you can keep clean sheets, your home games, I think you can take care of themselves, particularly with the teams that we're playing. I think if you can keep clean sheets the way we are as a
even Hugo, now you mentioned clean sheets.
Yeah. Even Emerson.
Don't.
What do we do?
I don't.
If we lose Emerson, then what do we do?
Yeah, I know. We're really in trouble, aren't we, if we lose Emerson?
We'll have to play Sessegnon on an inverted right back or something. I don't know
my Lord.
Let's see Sanchez running up and down the flank.
Oh, Sanchez.
Let's get back to some sort of normality on this bloody show because it's going everywhere. Anyway, league fixtures for this weekend. They're not quite all because we've got some FA Cups in there as well. So obviously Spurs kick off 12:30 against Brighton on Saturday. Man United play Norwich at 3 o'clock. Southampton versus Arsenal, 3 o'clock, and also Watford versus Brentford, but we're not interested in that. Sunday
Are we
game,
3 o'clock as well? We're 12:30.
No,
we're 12:30. West Ham play Burnley on the Sunday, and if they win that game again, they deserve to be in the race still. But I cannot see how they can put in what they've done today. Burnley needing to win, I can see that being a draw. So again, this is what I'm trying to say. Norwich might even take points of Man United.
Don't be surprised. I mean, if Everton can, anyone can, mate.
So imagine. So talk to me about them fixtures then, Sean. Are they? What would be a surprise? It would surprise me if we lost. It would surprise me if we didn't pick up all 3 points. And I look at Man United and Arsenal. Those are the only 2 people I'm really concerned about over this weekend.
Well, I think Southampton, if you go by the game, the performance they put in against Chelsea, then, you go, well, Arsenal should be able to just run them ragged. But, like most teams when they're wounded, like you don't want to go after a wounded animal. And I think Southampton were embarrassed by Chelsea. So you'd hope that that they put in a bit more of a kind of resilient performance. I don't know if they've got enough about them to go and beat Arsenal, but I do think they should. I think you could expect a far better performance from Southampton this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal dropped 2 points there and it was like a 1-1 or something like that. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I put my money on. I do think Man United will have enough to overcome Norwich. And West Ham, Burnley, I agree with you, actually, Sam. I think that West Ham, it's exhausting coming back from France. Even though they've won, they'll be on like an adrenaline high right now. They'll crash tomorrow because they'll got through, and they should be worn out. And Burnley are a tough team to play against at any time, but especially when they're on the back of their victory last week against who did they beat last weekend? I forget now.
They lost. They lost to Everton, didn't they? So they played.
Oh, that's right.
No, sorry.
Right, yeah.
They played.
Yeah,
they played and beat Everton. Then they lost
West Ham.
to who did they play? Burnley. That's
Was it
Norwich.
Brentford?
Norwich. It was Norwich. They lost 2-0 to Norwich. That's who.
Right.
They were
That's
expected to go to Norwich and beat them, and they won against Everton, lost against Norwich. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's so mad down that bottom end. But anyway.
Yeah, so I think Spurs will be able to beat Brighton, and I just think that Man United Norwich probably will go Man United's way. But like I said, I just generally not worried about Man United because going back to their run-in, for them to be still in the race, they've got to beat teams that are also in the race, right? They've got to play Arsenal, so I think they've got to play Chelsea still as well. I just can't see Man United getting enough out of their remaining games to be in it. So I'm not really that bothered about what happens between them and Norwich too much. And like I say, I think that, do we care about the other games, Newcastle, Leicester and that stuff, or are we just talking about the top four?
Don't care about the others. I just put them up for fun, just so we could see what was happening this weekend. I'm only interested in really Arsenal. If I'm honest with you, I think Man United, I don't hate to say, I do actually like saying it. They're done. If you just look at them as a collective, there is so much in there that they need to overcome just to get results. That they should win, obviously, against Norwich at home. I expect them to take 3 points. But their games after that, they've got, as you can see, Liverpool midweek on Tuesday.
Yeah,
they ain't winning that.
No.
They ain't winning that.
No.
I'll tell you that now. They're not winning that game.
Isn't that is that a league game they've got midweek?
That's a league game, yeah. Tuesday.
Okay.
It's not happening to me. Darius, let's move on. Actually, let's move on from this. Let's go on to the last 5 league results for us. As you can see, 4 wins on the bounce with 1 loss. That loss coming to them lot, Manchester United, with a Ronaldo show. 16 goals, 16 goals scored, 5 conceded. If you add the other games that we've had as well, I think that's 25 in 7 games that we probably got. So we are scoring for fun. I don't think goal scoring is a problem for us. What could you see as being potentially anything that could derail us? In terms of, I guess,
is this the game or?
But as I said, I think we could maybe, we're going to see this weekend when Doty's out what happens with that. But the away fixtures might be a little bit of a problem. But is there anything that you can put your hands on now that you think might be an issue going forward for Spurs?
Is this for the Brighton game or just in general for the rest of the end of the season?
Brighton and in general, I think.
For the Brighton game, I think I want to say I kind of want to be what you're saying, Sam, and sort of say I'm not actually bothered about Brighton. I'm not worried about Brighton, but it's individual battles. I think the fullbacks and the midfield will be the big main battles. I think if Emerson, I think Sean, again, you spot on. If Emerson doesn't have a howler, I actually think we'll win the game. I think if Emerson has a howler, I think it could get actually a little bit difficult. And I'm not trying to put it all on him, but I do think a lot comes from that left side, and Cucurella is a very good player. So, and Lamptey's a good player on the other side as well. So the left back's got to be just as aware. In terms of going forward do you not think their key man's Basuma? I do think he is, but I think Højbjerg can deal with him. I think that's a player that Højbjerg doesn't have a problem with dealing with. I also think Bentancur as well. Both of them together. The midfield for me now with Bentancur in that midfield, and if Skip is on his way back, I'm not actually worried about a lot of midfield battles anymore. Apart from obviously your real proper top teams. I think the midfield is sort of sorted now.
Go on, Mike. Do you want to say your point?
No, I was just going to say quickly. I think if you keep Basuma quiet, then the rest of it should take care of itself.
Yeah,
I like that Trossard. That Trossard,
I like him, man.
He's such a good player. He's such a good player.
Like him a lot. I like him a lot.
They've got some decent players. They keep the ball well. But they haven't got no firepower. Danny Welbeck's not going to score them the goals. Trossard, what's his name? The one that was
Maupay.
Again, he's not a Harry Kane in front of goal. So again, he does mope around. I just got that one. But my point is, why should we shouldn't even be looking to think Brighton. We done them 2-0 a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks.
Yeah, in the cup.
Not even the cup, in the league. We only played
in the league as well. Yeah,
not too long ago. And this game's come quite at a good time for us. We're at home. We're first up to bat. If this is not motivation for this team to go out and get 3 points off a team that scored, and we'll move on to it now, because this is what I'm saying about Brighton. Their form, they scored 3 goals and conceded 7 in their last 5. Before that, I think before the win and the draw, they'd lost 6 on the bounce. 6 games.
They were very lucky.
That's not a team that's going to come to Spurs full of confidence and going to knock 3 or 4 past us. That's not happening. So was Arsenal the first time in like 4 months that they've scored more than 2 goals? Or sorry,
that's something
more than 1
crazy.
Goal. Something
and they were. It was a lucky win.
Yes, I'll tell you the scores. So Arsenal, they lost. They beat Arsenal 2-1, 0-0 against Norwich before that. They lost obviously 2-0 against us. Lost to Liverpool at home 2-0, and Newcastle beat them 2-1 as well. So that don't look like a team that's going to have much, in my opinion, unless they get lucky. Any team can on a day. But if you're putting me now and you're saying Conte, who needs to get top 4 against Graham Potter, who just needs to, you know what I mean, get anything.
Make his CV look nice.
That's all it is. Not in my turn. Mike, I'm going to look at this now in terms of the last 5 matches against Brighton. 3 wins, 2 losses. The 2 losses coming at their place. So back in 2019, October, and 2021. This should make better reading though for you.
Wow.
Unbeaten in the last 5, and that includes 1982 Division League. Division
really?
1 game.
Is that how far you have to go back to get the
That's
5th
how
game
far I
in the
have
league?
to go back to get a Premier League game. So,
and they still couldn't score in that game either.
Something
with that record, then, Mike, are you confident going into Saturday's game? That's an obvious question, but I'm going to ask the obvious.
Yeah, I am confident going into the game. We're at home. Brighton don't do too well, or they haven't done too well on the road. I mean, you look at their last that game they won against. They were lucky against Arsenal. Arsenal peppered their goal and they just couldn't break the deadlock. But they did, but not enough to win the game, obviously. But I don't see Brighton causing us too much trouble at home. As long as we turn up, as long as we sort of those players want to get the win and do the job, I think it should be quite straightforward. Well, I'm hoping it's a straightforward performance, straightforward win, straightforward 3 points.
Why?
No, that's how it should be. It should be straightforward. This shouldn't be a difficult game for us.
Yeah.
Although
you know what?
we're our own worst enemies, aren't we? Sometimes it's not a case of the better team the better team wins. It's just a case that we're just our own worst enemies and we do silly things to lose the game.
Yeah.
Too slow out of the traps. If we could
Sometimes, yeah.
Like the one thing I love about Sessegnon is when he plays, he's awake at the very start of the game. Like the two assists that he got earlier on this season, or in a couple of months ago before he got injured, were both in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the games. I think it was one against Leeds and I think one against Everton. It might have been.
Leeds one was great. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be awake and ready to go from the get go, and that's not a compliment that you can throw at most Tottenham players most of the time. Even against Villa, we were slow. I know we got the early goal, but then we allowed them to press and we were slow out of the traps. You could say the same thing that happened even the Brighton game again when we played them recently and we won 3-1. We were slow out of the traps then. If Tottenham can start early, I'll have no problems at all. But if we're struggling by half time or any of those sorts of kind of common tendencies that we've had in the past, then you just imagine at home the frustration of the fans, the impatience is starting to start to build a little bit, and it can get on the back. So we just need to get an early goal, settle us down, and then we can go on and win the game handsomely. That's what I think.
You know what? Again, for me, look at what part of the season we're in and who we've got. So this business end, teams who are at the top usually have to go and do something. They've got to, or teams at the bottom, exactly the same. Those in the middle, you usually find it's a little bit of a whatever they play for, whatever can be motivated. This is the business end, and Conte is very good at this end of the season. Now, it might be that we've got Spurs players, but he's shown enough. And again, that Villa game, we scored early, away from home. They could have got 2 or 3 goals in that first half. But the way I look at it, if they'd have got 1 goal, they wouldn't have continued playing the way they were playing. They would have changed their way because they would have got the equaliser. So
correct. Yeah.
People say, they had so many chances, but they only had so many chances because they had to try and score a goal, and they didn't. Had they scored, it would have changed the dynamics of the game. We might have attacked differently. So I just think we've got too much in terms of the counter-attack style that we could have. At home, we're now getting more possession. We are high enough in possession to be able to control games. And we don't play with just two midfielders. That was my concern first. We play with them 2 10s who are almost like 8s. Do you know what I mean? My memory today. Son and Kulusevski drop into that place. When they get into that defensive shape of that 5-4-1 with that block, they're so organised in it and they can break from it quickly. Conte's got them. He's got everything in there to make this team win games in different ways, in my opinion.
It's hard to break 5-4. If you've got 5 and a 4, it's hard to break that down no matter what team you are. Especially if you can break at the speed that Spurs can from defending the 5 and a 4, and if you can break at the speed that we can, then it's a massive asset, isn't it? So,
what you done, Sean?
No, it's a thing.
What's you done, Sean?
All of the North American communities, they always go Sean. They say my name like 20 times for some reason. Jodi Mac started it, and Will's just carrying it.
Oh, that Stuart lad. He likes a bit of drama, doesn't he? He likes a bit of drama.
I'm always seeing Will Stewart on bloody AFTV taking the absolute piss out of him. It's hilarious. Him and Ty are not friends at all.
He's laughing as well.
Anyway, you know what's coming? We'll get some of these. We're going to do this bit first. This is the favourite bit. This is my favourite bit. And I can do it now because it's chest. It's all chest coming up. Look, I'm bigging it, right? Score prediction, Sean. You like this bit? This is where we come up with some great ones. We've had in the past. Let me tell you some history about this. We have Darius in that bottom corner, very negative. Oh, we're going to lose. Darius will say that and we win. Sid was the same. Oh, I'm giving my ticket away. And we win. So, me and Mike try and stay right level.
Always
I'm going for it. So I'm going to start first on this one.
Oh, no.
What are you 0-9 for, Mike? What? It's all good, man.
Your last few predictions were like 5 and 4, wasn't it?
Last one was 3-1, but I have got a 4-1 as well. But last one was 3-1. Right, I'm going 3-0. I think it's going to be, I would say comfortable. I think it's going to be comfortable. I just don't see enough in Brighton. I haven't seen enough all season in Brighton. They had their form early part of the season. And a team that's lost 6 games on the trot, to come out of it for a draw and a win obviously is good, but that's it. It's like we've done enough now. We've stopped that rot. We're not going to go down. What major effort do we need to put in against this Spurs lot who could take us apart if we were to go for them anyway? So 3-0 for me. Mike, go on then. Have some of that, Mike. I'm going
2-0.
Oh, conservative.
He loves a 2-0. Does Mike? He loves
a 2-0. I'm trying to keep it realistic. There's no way. Surely
it's unrealistic to think we're not going to score at least 4 goals on the current form, isn't it?
At the moment, bloody hell.
How long can it keep going? I'm going to stick with it. 2-0. I'm going to be reserved. Hopefully, if we batter them, then obviously I'm not going to complain at all. But
any goal scores? Any thoughts of the way it might pan out in terms of the game itself?
Kane brace.
Oh, he's back on the score sheet. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting back on the score sheet.
Yeah, I think so as well. I really do. Let's go to our esteemed guest in the house, Sean. What are you saying? What are you telling me?
I actually think Brighton will get a goal in the game. I think they will at some point. I think they'll have a chance, and they might get by. I think 4-1 for Tottenham. I think overall we'll be 2-0 up, and then it will go 2-1, and then they'll get it will be a little bit nervy for 5 minutes, and then in the end we'll break away and make it 4-1 at the end of the game. But I think that Sonny's going to get 2, Kulu gets 1, and Kane gets 1. I think Sonny's going to end up the Golden Boot. I think in the Premier League.
Yeah, really? I forgot about Sonny. To be fair,
I wish that happened. I wish that happened. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm thinking definitely at least one of them front three is scoring tomorrow. Darius.
First of all, I will be taking Sam Spurs to life to Scotland Yard for defamation of character because in no way am I negative, bro. My catchphrase.
Maybe I used the wrong phrase.
No, I'll take that back. Sam Spurs for life. Sam Spurs for life. I'm not having this.
I'll take that
because I had a saying. Spurs will always concede. But you know what? Because Sam Spurs for Life wants to make me out to be the villain, the horrible
No,
guy.
whoa, Darius. Every time you've gone positive, it hasn't ended well.
3-0 Brighton. Whoa, 3-0 Tottenham. Whoa, 3-0 Tottenham. 3-0 Tottenham. Let me say that again.
You nearly
3-0
lived
Tottenham.
up to your reputation there, mate. You nearly lived up to
And
your
you know what? To be
reputation.
fair, I actually think Sonny's going to do a crazy madness and get 2 hat-tricks in a row.
Wow. Could happen.
I think that's what
could happen.
I think that's what's going to happen. You know what, Sean, now you said it, there's nothing more in this world I could ask for than Son to get a golden boot this season. That would be icing on the cake. I'd love to see that because I just think he's so underappreciated. Even when Kane had the most stinky first half of the season, it seems like everybody's forgotten that because, to be fair, he has been completely unreal since he sort of turned his form around. But let's not forget, we would not be in the situation we would be in without Son being consistent all season and been doing this for like the past, 5-6 years now, putting up ridiculous numbers. So for me, Sonny is always going to be player of the season for me this season, no matter what Kane does. But yeah, I think he's going to get another hat-trick. I want him to get another hat-trick as well.
Why not?
So, yeah.
If with Kane coming deep, and just threading those passes, even if
Clinical,
even if Brighton put the press on us, just go long. Kane flicks it down like that cushioned header that he did against Aston Villa. It looks so simple. It wasn't simple at all. One of the very difficult header to take that kind of sting out of the ball, and Sonny just buries him every time, doesn't he? So I can see more of the same happening on Saturday morning.
Whatever Conte said at half time to beat the press, it was so simple, wasn't it? Like just
go
over
long.
the top,
Just cut out the midfield, go straight over the top.
But that's so satisfying to see your manager literally just say, you know what? If you lot want to do that, cool, we'll switch it up and we'll go long. It's so satisfying to see that.
I don't understand.
If you can't pass through the press, you know
what I mean?
can't pass through the press, pass over it. It's just
that's what I want my manager to do. It's so satisfying.
I was told by a coach one long time ago, there's 3 ways to attack in football. It's through them, around them, or over them. And that's it. You can't do anything else. You put the ball over the top, you run through them, or you go around them down the wings. Simple. Football, as Jimmy said, it's a funny old game, but it's a simple game as well.
I wonder what the odds are for a Sonny hat-trick, second hat-trick on the trot.
I want him to do it, man. I think he's the chances of that are so high.
I'm not sure about those odds are, but I think a friend of the show, I've seen him on your show quite a lot, my mate Kuva 99.
Legend.
I think he had a bet on at Christmas time. I think he had a bet on Sonny to get golden boot and got something like 40-1. And I think he said if he comes in, he gets I think he had 20 quid on it, like 800 quid or something. Ooh. So and he's not far wrong, not far right. I mean, he's pretty
I think
much there,
Sean. I think Salah's on 20. He's on 17 after that hat trick he scored. So and I mean Kane as well. He's crept up that score chart as well. So it's all on to play for. I really do. I think Salah will probably get it just because I think Liverpool just always will score that many goals. But Sonny, to say that he's done it and to say that for maybe a quarter of the season we were playing Nuno ball as well.
Question
can't
for
give
you
him
guys.
credit, man.
If on the last game of the season, Sonny needs 1 goal to win Golden Boot and we get a penalty, does Harry Kane let Sonny take it?
Kane take it.
Let him take it.
No. Kane takes it.
No, Kane won't take it.
Kane has to. Nah, Kane has to take it. If it determines top 4, then yeah.
No, if Kane was on 18 and he had to get 19 to be equal, then I think he'd say, "Nah, mate, you're all right. I'll take this one." But if he's a few goals away, he's gonna let Sonny get it if he has to. I reckon.
Even if the game was like, if it meant something, the game, like if we actually messed up and it meant something.
In that scenario,
that's why I'm saying Harry Kane.
Individual awards come after the team. The team's first.
Yeah. Right? But no, if we've solidified top 4 100%, and Sonny deserves that golden boot. He's so good. I love him so much. But yeah. 3-0. I'm sorry. I've too long on my prediction. 3-0 to Tottenham. We went on a tangent. My
fault with the tangent.
We've been on many a tangent tonight, but just to remind everybody. So for myself, I said 3-0 to the Spurs. Then we had Mike 2-0. I like that scoreline because that's one of those scorelines which is, we're gonna win, but I'm not gonna just say we're gonna mash them up, but we're gonna win. That's a good scoreline. I would have used that one today, but I thought, you know what, chest. Anyway, Sean's definitely gone high chest. He's gone bench pressing 4-1. Darius is saying 3-0. So we're all doing it. We're all saying. So Simply Ace is saying 4-0 to Spurs. We've got Will. Is Will giving the score? I think Will said 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
Did you say 4-1?
Yeah, I think he said 4-1 earlier. We've got a few Island Life again saying 4-0 to the Spurs here.
Oh, look at these big scores.
It's all the big scores.
I haven't got a reputation to maintain. I haven't got like this form of history where if I predict that we lose, we win. None of that. That's all you guys.
Sean's one and done. If he gets it completely wrong, you'll never see him on the stream again.
we have to do this week in, week out. So it's already great. We do it for clip. It's all the clipping. You know what I mean? We've had some clips in the past before, but now none of our Armory friends are doing any clipping. I wonder why. Sean,
I don't think we'll put a comment in there.
He said he mentioned if Brighton he said Brighton won't score 3 or 4 goals in the game. So if we do, then we've won the game. I think
at the bottom 3-1 is my guess. Some with the
3-1. Oh yeah, I said 3-1. I think 3-1 looks good, but I think 3-0, man. I think they can't score. They barely score any goals, Brighton.
Never score.
It's only Arsenal they scored against.
And this is all season. It's not like a blip. This is all season.
No, exactly.
But they're one good striker away from being a good team.
Yeah, they are.
They play well. They play well. They just can't finish their dinner ever.
I agree, man.
I thought that one striker might have been Danny Welbeck. I joke. No, I'm only taking the team. I can do this. You know what's great when football and life meets and it's like great. It's fantastic. It's really nice. It's a nice feeling. You know what I mean?
Very rare for us Tottenham fans, isn't it?
It's very rare, and you've got to take advantage. That's what I'm saying. You've got to take advantage of it when it's here, lads. It's just do it. Will Stewart saying 3-1. My guest on with a brace as well there. I don't know if we're literally smashing teams. I'm sure we can get 4 or more. That, gentlemen, brings us to the end. If you are around, Mr. Sean, Spurs Talk Show, would like to join us for our post-match, you can do. But tell the viewers where you are and where they can find you on YouTube or in the world, social media, etc., etc.
Yeah, I can't. I'm at the game on Saturday, mate, so I won't be able to be on your post-match. I'd still have to come on the Tuesday show if the offer's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys can find me, Spurs Talk Show. I have to say hashtag all one word, hashtag never any spaces, because if you search for Spurs Talk Show and you put spaces between the two, then you won't find me. You'll find a San Antonio Spurs basketball channel that hasn't posted any content for 4 years, but their subscriber count has been going up recently. So I think some people have been trying to find me and they're finding them instead. So all one word, Spurs Talk Show, and you find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
I'm going to report their page right now after this stream.
I'm just furious, man. Their subscriber count's gone from like, whatever it is, 400 to 425. And I'm like, you're not doing anything.
You are mine.
You're living off my fame. That's what you should have told me. You're living off me. That's what I'd have told them. Anyway.
That's where you find the Spurs Talk Show. Thanks, man.
No worries with that. So make sure you go across and smash a like on that. Smash a like. Whenever the stream's on, subscribe to that channel. Make sure you do all the rest of it, as well as doing that for us here at PAXTON Road TV. Look out for, as I said, the reaction show, which will be just after full time. So around about 2:35, 2:40-ish. Then we can do that and then go and maybe watch some. Don't tell the others. We can watch some of the other games later on that day, because that will be fantastic to see us win and some of them others not win. I think that's about it. I'm not going to ask Mike and Darius where they can be found, because they can be found right here. As you can find us, we can be found here at PAXTON Road TV. That is it. Gentlemen, Sean, thank you very much. Mike, as always. Darius, as always, pleasure. Come on, you Spurs, I guess.
Come on, you Spurs.